Hey everyone, welcome to the first lesson of the course. This is what we're going to accomplish here on this course. It's a very simple countdown made on After Effects. So, morphing shapes on After Effects is pretty simple, but it has a little trick to it. So, first, before jumping into the course subject, I want to show you a little bit about morphing shapes. Let's begin to create a composition. Click OK. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about morphing on After Effects. For example, if I have a shape layer and I draw, for example, a square, let's add some fill, and I'm going to remove the stroke. And if I want to change this shape into, for example, a circle, here's what I want to do. First, let's rename this as rectangle. And now I'm going to create another shape layer, and on this shape layer I'm going to draw a circle like this. Now I want to morph this rectangle into this circle. How could I do that? First, I will open the contents on the rectangle. You can see we have contents, and we have rectangle 1, and we have the rectangle path, the stroke, the fill, and other properties. Now I want to change this path into a bezier path. To do that, I'm going to right click on here on the rectangle path, and I'm going to click here on convert to bezier path. Now I have a regular path that I can move as I please. You can see how I can move it. Now I repeat the same process with the circle. I'm going to change this into bezier. Okay, now I want to change from the rectangle to the circle in a few frames. So I'm going to zoom in on the timeline, and I'm going to take my path here, and I'm going to create a keyframe. Let's go to the second number 1, and I'm going to create a keyframe here for the path on the rectangle. You can see I click on the stopwatch and created a keyframe here, and I want that on the next second this rectangle turns into a circle. So how can I do that? I'm going to open my circle path, which is this one, and I'm not going to do anything with this layer, but I'm going to click here on the path, and I'm going to edit and copy, or just press Ctrl and C or Option and C. Now with this copied, I'm going to move again to my rectangle path, click on the path, and press Ctrl B or edit and paste. When you do that, you will create a new keyframe where the path will become the circle path, because we just copied it from here, from this circle layer to the rectangle layer. Now you can see the transition here. Now you can remove this circle path if you want. Doesn't matter, because we already copied the path here on the rectangle layer. So you can see how the rectangle turns into a circle. Now in this case it looks really smooth because these shapes are really simple, but what if we are working with more complicated shapes? Then that's when it gets a little tricky. Let's create a rectangle, or maybe not a rectangle. Let's create a polygon to make it a little bit more complicated. I have this polygon here, and I'm going to create a new shape layer, and I'm going to create a star. Now I'm going to repeat the process on the polygon. I'm going to change this polystar path to bezier, and the same goes for the star. Now you know the drill. Just create a keyframe for the polygon, jump to the next second, and copy the star path into the polygon path. Now let's turn on the polygon again, and you can see how it's working really smooth. And that's how morphing on After Effects works. Of course, the more the shapes are complicated, the more difficult will be to create a nice morphing effect, because it can get a little messy. In fact, when on the next lesson, when we start working with the morphing of the numbers, we will see that sometimes we don't get the result that we want, so we have to make some tweaks to the shapes. But that will be on the next lesson. For now, I just wanted to show you how to work with the morphing on After Effects. So let's go to the next lesson.